What's going on YouTube? This is ParkerLad88 coming at you with another video. Today I'm going to be doing another deck profile of a deck that I like to call the Coal Badge. So the reason why I call this deck the Coal Badge is because a long time ago, one of my friends, ShadowFox4562, made a deck called Rockstun. It was kind of popular at that time with the Kokomarus and, all that fun stuff. And I thought to myself, I kind of want to make a more aggressive version of this deck. So what I got was a rank 4 spamming toolbox that I decided to name the Coal Badge. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this deck profile. Okay, so first up we have the monsters. First we have 3 copies of Go-Go Giant. He's one of the main monsters of the deck. What he does is, on normal summon, you can go into your graveyard and fetch out another Go-Go monster, including himself, put it on the field in defense mode, and then he changes to defense mode as well. He's great for that one turn exceed play, and on top of that, he beats for 2k, which is also very nice. Next up, we have 2 copies of Go-Go Golem, because Go-Go Giant needs targets. The fact that he beats for 18 and he can't be destroyed by battle when he's in defense mode is really great whenever you need to stall, or just speed, just in case you don't have the ideal play for, going for your rank 4 play. Next up, the last part of the Go-Go engine, we have 1 copy of Go-Go Gigas, or as my friend Neo Dark Eye likes to call him, Go-Go Big Ass, because of that 2200 defense. So, what this guy does is when he is in your graveyard, when you special summon a Go-Go monster, you can special summon him out of your graveyard as well, but you skip your battle phase. He's great for stalling, and he's also great for just, once again, going for rank 4 plays, either multiple ones where you don't need your battle phase, or if you're just in a tight spot you don't have the ideal exceed play you want to do. Moving into other monsters, we have 2 copies of Dodo Buster. Dodo Buster is pretty great in this deck. When your opponent doesn't control any monster, when your opponent controls a monster and you don't control the monster, you can special summon him from your hand, and he becomes a 4, which is great because rank 4 plays, and he also beats for 19, which is great, so he's kind of like a Photon Thrasher or a Cyber Dragon that way, where you just don't have to commit to anything. He also has an added effect where if he is tribute summoned, you can target one Dodo monster in your graveyard and special summon it back. So you can special summon Buster, sack Buster, or Buster, activate Buster's effect to get Buster, and then go for rank 6 plays, which just adds versatility to this deck, so I really like that. Alright, other monsters, we have the Quackimero aspect of this deck in Quackimero Guardian. Quackimero Guardian, whenever your opponent, or just whenever a monster effect is activated, period, you tribute him to negate it and destroy it. So, I'm sure like a lot of people are probably thinking, hey, he's kind of like a Veiler that beats. At least that was my reason for running him, so I run him that too. And then next up, we have the new card from Secrets of Eternity. We have the T-King for Quackimeros, just rounding out all that negation power in Quackimero Overdose. You tribute him to negate and destroy the special summon of a monster, or excuse me, just the summon of a monster. Normal summon, tribute summon, flip summon, special summon, all that stuff. And pendulum summoning, so that makes him really relevant as well. So that rounds off all the Quackimeros. For extra monster support, we've got 2 copies of Mass Chameleon. Whenever you summon Mass Chameleon to the field, normal summon, you can target 1 monster with 0 defense in your graveyard and special summon it back. As you saw before, Go-Go Giant has 0 defense, so he's really great in adding some synchro versatility to this deck. Or, once again, I can just go for rank 4 plays. So, and then the last couple of monsters, we have 2 copies of Revival Golem. Revival Golem, whenever he is sent to the graveyard from the deck, you can either add him to your hand or special summon to the field. Guess which one I want to do. This guy was actually really integral in putting this entire deck together. It was him and another card that I'll mention further on this deck profile as to why this deck even kind of existed outside of all the other monsters. But this was the main monster that I decided that made this deck come together. And then we have 1 copy of Block Golem. So for those of you who don't know, if all the monsters in your graveyard are Earth, you contribute this guy, special summon 2 rock monsters from your graveyard, level 4 or lower, and their effects are negated until the end of the turn. So you distribute them, and you can get back your Quackimeros, you can get back whatever rock monsters you want to go for rank 4 plays, or just for control. So, he's really great. And that does it for all of the monsters. Next up, we have spells. We have 3 copies of Anamano. You discard 1 card from your hand, and you can add 1 Zubaba, Gagaga, Go-Go, or Dodo monster from your deck to your hand. You can add 2 of those cards, but you can't add 2 copies of the same card. So you can't add 2 Dododos or 2 Go-Go-Go's, so on and so forth. So this is the search engine for the deck. You can get a Dododo and a Go-Go from this and just, go for crazy plays. Next up, we have the main card in this deck, the whole reason why I am running this, the whole reason why this deck is called the Coal Badge. We have my Field Stadium Catapult Zone. So what Catapult Zone does is once per turn, if one of my monsters would be destroyed by battle, I can toss a rock monster directly from my deck to the graveyard, like the Revival Golems, for instance, which is the whole idea. Your opponent goes to attack, you toss a Revival Golem, special summon the Revival Golem, and all of a sudden you have an instant rank 4 play there, and then when it's your turn, you go on for more plays. It also gives an extra layer of protection to all of my monsters, and it's for any monster, not just rock monsters, not just earth monsters, all of them. So for pretty much this, for this entire extra deck right here, I can get free special summons off of it, so an extra protection, so it's really, really great. This plus Revival Golem is this entire deck. That's how this deck came to be. Then we have 2 copies of Terraforming to search out the field spell, so the field spell makes the deck. Then we have 2 copies of Attack the Moon. This is actually a fun card in this deck because, like you saw with Giant, and then another card I'll get in the future, Diamond Crab King. What it does is once per turn, when the battle position of a rock monster is changed, you can pop a spell or trap on the field that your opponent controls. So let's say that I special summon a Revival Golem. If my opponent's back row, I just switch the Revival Golem before I go for an Exceed play, wipe out their back row, and go for an Exceed play. When I normal summon out Go-Go Giant and activate its ability, change it to defense mode, I can pop a spell or trap. So this is a really good card in this deck, lots of fun. For extra back row removal, we have 2 MST. For consistency, we have 2 copies of Duality, so we can get our field spell or whatever else we need, but mostly for the field spell. Because we don't need to special summon right away all the time. Mostly on the first turn, you're not going to be going for Exceed plays too much, so the extra search power helps. Then we have 1 copy of Diamond Core of Kokimero. Since we have 4 Quackimero monsters in our deck, it only makes sense to run 1 of these, but because Rock Stun, this is not Rock Stun, or the focus is not the Quackimeros, we only run 1 of these. And the extra protection helps just in case I don't have a rock monster to show in my hand. But most of the time I always will. And then we have 1 copy of Foolish Barrel. I run Foolish Barrel just so I can go over that instant rank 4 play, for instance, if I can't get my Catapult Zone, if I just need a rank 4 play right then and there. Toss Revival Golem, toss Go-Go in order to go for the play. And that rounds 12 spells. Next up we have traps. We've got Solemn Warning, Bottomless, our summoning turns, Breakthrough Skill, and then 2 of my favorite trap in this deck, which is Exceed Block. There's a little bit of Dolka in all of us, ladies and gentlemen. So what Exceed Block does is exactly what Dolka does. Whenever your opponent would activate a monster effect, you detach 1 Exceed material from your Exceed monster, and you negate the activation, and if you do that, you get to destroy it. So it's really great. It turns all of my Exceeds, all of these guys right here, except for the Synchros, of course, into Dolkas. Dolkas. And then the last trap we have is 1 copy of Starlight Road. Because I can make synchro plays, one of them being Stardust, and once again because Dark Hole and my Gekier thing, 1 copy of Starlight Road just to keep people honest. And that does it for the entire main deck. Next, let's go ahead and move into the extra deck. First, we're starting off with 2 copies of Gemini Pearl. So of all the Exceeds, you're probably running why I'm running Gemini Pearl. When I first made this deck, it was just because he's an Earth, and I actually really do like Gemini, as you guys saw from another deck profile. But him behind an Exceed block is pretty awesome. But right now, he's just a placeholder for number 52 Diamond Crab King. We're going to be grabbing 2 of those when it comes out. AKA Ice Peach, as called by Neo Darkeye, also known as Domon Clashu. Moving into other ones, we have number 18 Heartland Draco, Gaga Cowboy, Exciton Knight. Oh, and one thing I wanted to mention about Heartland Draco, because of my continuous spell and field spell, that whole thing about not being able to attack whenever you control a faithful spell makes that pretty great. And if you could attack him, you wouldn't be able to destroy him. So yeah, Exciton Knight. Number 50, King of Feral Imps to search out those masked chameleons. 1 Castel, the Skyblaster Musketeer. 1 Dark Rebellion Exceeds Dragon just for a little extra muscle. Number 80 is really great in this deck because they Exceed plays all the time. So being able to equip this to other Exceeds and make them stronger is really great. 1 Silent Honor Arc, and then 1 Gauntlet Shooter. So because I'm running the Dododo Busters, I can make 6s. So he is the best 6 that I can think of to go into. Plus I don't own you know, a Mizier 7, the Constellar monster. So, but he still does great work because he just gives me some natural. And then for synchros, all 8s are Stardust Dragon, Hot Red Dragon Archfiend, and Crimson Blader. And that does it for the extra deck. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this deck profile. Let me know what you guys think, and I will be back to you later with future videos. This is Parker Lad, out.